Hi everyone, welcome to this week's question and answer video. I do every single Monday. I'm answering you guys' questions from the last Q&A video last Monday. Welcome new subscribers, new viewers. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to this channel to support what I'm doing here. If you think I'm benefiting you or someone else, you can share my videos with someone. Thank you. And vote down below. Hit that thumbs up or down. Tell me why. And please ask questions, okay? You know, this is about traumatic experiences, and we need to learn what happened to us. It's a great way to start and begin healing. Okay, so lots of good questions, a lot of good ones this week, and I'm going to try to get through these in a timely manner. I recommend something every week, and this week I want to recommend walking, something we've all done in our life. We need to exercise, we need to raise our heart rate, we need to get outside. We need to see things moving by and stuff like this. Really helps our brains with trauma, when healing from trauma. It might be the only exercise you are adding for a lot of you. And so please try to find the time to walk. I just looked up 10 benefits of walking, and there's many more, but I'm just going to go through them real quick. Burns calories, right? Burns calories, strengthens your heart. It can help you lower your blood sugar. Eases joint pain. Walking can help protect the joints, including your knees and hips. That's because it helps lubricate and strengthen the muscles that support the joints. And walking is so much better for you than a lot of other rigorous exercises and activities like running. It's so much better and easier on your joints too. Helps boosts immune function, which is great right now, right? And we're heading into the flu season, as well as the you-know-what. Boost your energy. Boost your energy. Going for a walk is more effective for your energy than a cup of coffee. And a lot of us have anxiety, so I would try to cut caffeine out and start walking. How long does it take to make a pot of coffee? Or you could walk, right? Or how long does it take to stand in line at Starbucks? Improve your mind. Walking can help your mental health. It can also boost self-esteem, symptoms of social withdrawal. It's amazing. It's, to me, I would say, you have to do some walking or something similar to it, to get outside and smell the fresh air and maybe even interact with people and watch the environment go by. It's so much better than a treadmill or a stationary bike. Get outside and do that stuff, okay? I even recommend electric bikes too. I do that too. Maybe I'll do that again soon. Extends your life, right? And women, it tones the legs, the thighs. So add walking to your life. Okay, let's get on to the questions. Like I said, there's a lot of them. Hey David, it's Darren from Burbank, California. Hi Darren. I wrote in a question on how to leave my addictive relationship that involved suicidal threats from her. And I'm happy to admit that I'm gone, no contact for 6 months, plan on never going back. I rewatched your in-depth response to my question during some of the darkest moments during the breakup. Thank you so much for your words and your dedication to helping others. Well, thank you very much for telling me, Darren. Right on. I'm glad things are getting better for you. Heather from Ontario, thanks so much for coaching my daughter. Well, thank you, Heather. She's doing so great. I appreciate you so much. I have a question. I've been out of my last toxic relationship for about 2 years now. I don't know if that was a purpose typo there, or if it's a typo or on purpose. I feel ready to date again, but in this crazy world, it's so weird that people only go to dating sites to ask people out. What do I do when I know someone wants to ask me out, but I refuse to go out on these damn dating sites? And I didn't quite understand the question, because what do you do if somebody wants to ask you out, but you refuse to go on the dating sites? So I didn't quite understand. Maybe you can elaborate more on that, Heather. But as a lot of you know, I'm just totally against dating sites. They're awful. It makes no sense that you're going to have better luck on a dating site than out in the real world. And, you know, convenient, things like this, okay, I'm not going to get into it. I've done it so much. I've beaten that like a dead horse. But how about I just tell you what I suggest instead of, in place of, rather than dating sites to meet people. And dating sites seem so exclusive to love matches, right? Romantic. Meetups are pretty awesome. They can be. Meetups, if you've never heard of those. Write down 5 things that interest you in this world, period. 5 things in this world. And I challenge this to everybody all the time. There are 5 things in this world that every one of you are interested in that you don't even know exist yet. Go find those. Spend that time to explore the world, and we can do that on the internet now. And find 5 things that interest you, things you want to learn, things you want to achieve, someone you want to meet or watch speak, or a book, or, write thousands of things. What are you interested in? Okay? And find these 5 things that you're interested in and explore these things, start doing these things, but find ways to add people, right? So you can, what's something you can do? I want to learn how to, I'm just saying, say I want to learn how to, God, really, it really doesn't matter. I want to learn how to, last time I used speak Spanish, right? I want to learn how to speak Spanish so I can, just take the courses online and practice to myself. Or I can plan a trip to Mexico and say, that's the deadline. I want to, know some Spanish before I go to Mexico. Now you got something else to look forward to, and you're going to go down to Mexico and be able to actually talk to people and locals and have fun with it. But you can take classes, maybe a class or something to add more on around people. And our brains, if we're depressed and traumatized, we'll find ways to not do anything and not add people, right? I hope that helps. This makes your life more interesting. It makes you more interesting, and it makes other people more interesting. And if you meet people, which I don't know how you could not, I don't know, you're either going to make friends, or maybe your match is out there for you. But meeting people organically this way, at least you have something in common, except I need to be loved. I need to be loved, because your odds on the dating site, if you already have bad odds of meeting toxic, disordered people in your life and dating them, they get much worse on a dating site, period. That's where everybody goes that doesn't know how to date or is toxic and manipulative. They're all on there. All. Not saying everyone on them is. That's just where everyone goes. It's just too easy for them to get away with it. Okay. And thank you again, Heather. And Rocky Balboa is in Northwest Boise, Idaho. Hi, Rocky. Do cluster B people date specific types of people? And you went on and on. And so this really is a victim-abuser relationship. And people have different opinions, but you watch any of my videos long enough of them, you'll know that I truly, truly believe this all stems from childhood. And narcissists, right, want people to exploit. They will never meet any of your emotional needs, and they're abusive. So there's something common about this in your childhood for us to accept it, to be drawn to it or attracted to it, or just find ourselves in these situations with people like this. So most common, and almost always, is you had some emotional neglect issues, okay? And, they say this, believe it or not, we probably had similar kind of childhoods to disordered, abusive, manipulative people. They come from similar toxic families. And so we have narcissistic parenting. Parents don't have to be narcissists, but they can parent narcissistically. and this is what we respond to and learn what love is and learn what a father is and a man and a husband and a wife and a woman and a mother and all this stuff. And then here we meet a narcissist who's just, it's extremely familiar. You should be able to connect dots, and it can be very extremely difficult to do, and especially by yourself. Thank you. Emily from Latvia. Hey, Emily. I hope you and your family are well. Thank you. I hope yours is too. Could you please share your experience? I have 2 questions. I have a goal in life. I have a goal in life. I am bettering myself, exploring things, being creative. I play the guitar and doing archery, sports twice a week. And an awesome mother. How do you do it? And you have time for your hubby. He does not do any regular hobbies, and he said he does not have any goals in life. I have observed this now after dating him for 7 months, and this bothers me and our relationship. Second question, could you please kindly explain more about your knowledge when you say, our brain only keeps us safe from danger. It does not care about blank, 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 how we feel. Our brains only care about keeping us alive and procreating, having babies. You've already had babies, Emily. Your brain's really stuck on survival. Doesn't care how you feel or what you think about things and stuff like this. Okay, that's to finish that. And I'm sorry about your relationship with this person. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. Maybe there's some depression going on there. I don't know, but that's not healthy, and it's not going to be good for your relationship. Remember your emotional needs, Emily? About 10 of them. Go check those out again and refresh yourself with those again, because I know you know them. And these must be met in the relationship for both people. And there's a lot of things on there, like autonomy and having being involved in groups, being needed in that group. There's all kinds of things that seem to be missing here. These are things you can try to communicate with him. But there might be something going on in his life, something personal, right? It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad, Emily. I don't want to say too much. I'm trying to be careful what I say. But it's sad, usually that's not very happy. I could say that's safe. Usually it means he may not be very happy. And a lot of times we meet somebody that we're really excited about and stuff like this. That kind of a lot of times triggers our motivation to start exploring things and doing things we want to do and having goals and plans. He has not one goal in life and no hobby. And what do you guys do together? You guys do anything together? You just go out and have fun maybe? But how about, goals are plans based on what we need and want, right? And so does he have any plans, goals, or aspirations with you in your relationship? You guys talk about marriage or anything like that? I know it's only been 7 months. I don't know what to say. You guys have any vacations planned or anything? I don't know, Emily. These are something you need to decide what to do. If you care about your relationship, then try as hard as you can to make these things work and talk to him and communicate. He may need to do some work for himself, because I just can't imagine anyone like that not being as happy as they could be, and that will affect your relationship. I'm sorry, Emily. Maya. Hello, Maya. Awesome video, good vibes, definitely. What is it called when you fight against yourself, like the angel-devil dichotomy? And I'm thinking about internal conflict, all the way to self-sabotage. I don't know if I'm missing an actual term that better suits that. Nate from North Carolina. Hi, Nate. I love your videos. Thank you. I have started going back to therapy because my parents are toxic and selfish. My mom doesn't want me to become my own person, but I am, and this makes her mad. She is not rude to me. She is rude to my fiance to get back at me for not kissing the floor she walks on. That's nasty. We have talked to them and they still don't care about my feelings. I move in a year because I finished college. They act like I owe them money. And what do you think I can make a relationship with these type of people after I move out? Well, it seems like you can't living there. So it's got to be better odds, better chances. I encourage people to do this very much when we're living with people that we don't get along with. Let's not live with them anymore, unless it's our children or husband or wife, something like that. But I would say your odds would greatly increase by moving out. Can you still have, you know, it's your choice. Is it possible? I would need way more about your specific situation, but typically things like this, it's possible, but you got to have it all on your terms. All of it's got to be on your terms. And Nate, you're going to have to decide for the things they've done in the past, if you can accept them and move on in this relationship. If you can't, and you talk to them and they don't apologize and make you feel better, there's a big problem. Problems in relationships, any of them, including these, need to be fixed. And if they're not fixed and you can't fix them, and you come to that realization, the relationship needs to end. I'm not saying you can't keep in touch, but everything has to be on your terms, Nate. It can't feel bad anymore. And if you can't get what you want and what you need out of these relationships, we're going to have to accept this, you know, and grieve. I mean, this is loss. We're talking our parents. And so you're obviously being neglected and maybe even abused. And so there's a lot of things that you needed and wanted as a child that you never got. Is that okay? And there's a lot of things that you're not going to get and may never get. Your father may not be capable of what you want and need in this relationship with them. And so we're going to have to start accepting these things and grieving them and crying and saying goodbye and stop trying. And what is it that you can keep with them? That's up for you to decide. If there's something that you do still enjoy, maybe it's a phone call once a month or going out to lunch or something, and you're able to still do that, and they don't cross your boundaries and stress you out and things like this, and that's valuable to you and you want to hold on to that, do it. Okay, hope that answered your question, Nate. Good luck moving out. Yeah, best thing you can probably do. Get out. Chris from Australia. I'm sorry, Chris from Australia. Hey, Chris. Could you talk a little about covert narcissists with borderline in women? Also, how to handle narcissistic behavior at work. Narc boss. How to build a case or how to stick up for yourself. Well, I mean, that case, what you got going on at work is very specific, and it's hard to answer every specific case, you know, with the same answer. But so I need to know a lot more. But and I'm not sure what you want me to talk about. Covert narcissists with borderline in women. You mean like having both of them, women that have both narcissist and borderline personality disorder? I've made so many videos about that, and definitely in the last month or two. I mean, just detailed the differences and all these things. Typically, when you have a personality disorder, let's say this person you're talking about has borderline personality disorder, she could also be very narcissistic. Typically, they are. Doesn't mean they have the criteria for narcissists, but they're just narcissistic. The second part of your question, how to handle narcissistic behavior at work from your boss. Well, Chris, keep it just work related and stop telling them anything about yourself, anything personal, for one. Okay, go there to make money and that's it, and just do a good job and do what they want and what's expected of you. Stroking their ego helps. And then at some point, you know, you need to decide if you can and want to stay there. My best advice always, and I don't know how everyone takes this, but I promise you this, 100%. The number one way to make problems at work better is to increase the success in your personal life, in your emotional life. Okay? If we don't have much going on in our personal life and we don't spend much time in our personal life with relationships and friends and people and seeking out our interests, and we tend to only have a life at work, when we do that, life is already stressful because our emotional life is failing. So all we have is work, and we tend to magnify problems and stuff like this. If you are happy outside of work and spend more time on your personal life and relationships are great and you got things planned, typically the problems at work aren't so bad. But it's a personal decision, Chris, to know if you want to stay there. How do I help you stay there? That's a difficult one, because if it's abusive behaviors, you know, I'm not going to tell you how to take abuse better. How do you get a handle on it and make your boss stop abusing you? Well, then you might start getting into legal matters, and then at that point, we all know that there's a chance you might lose your job. Very difficult to answer questions like this. But just stay out of his way and do a great job. Okay, there's things that he's going to stress that are more important to him, like being on time and stuff like this, and you make sure you do that stuff. Okay, he still is your boss, narcissistic or not. He's your boss, and we have to do what they want. You know, and there comes a certain point where we have to say, do I want to keep doing this? Okay, keep things work related, keep things all about him, and completely cut yourself out of that job about any part of your personal life, and then go improve your personal life. 5 interests, seek them out, and manage, real important, manage the relationships that you have now very well. Make sure that you're maintaining them, you're evaluating them, what's wrong, what's stressing me out, what needs to be fixed. Do this, okay? Hi, David Lawrence again from St. Clairsville, Ohio. Hi, Lawrence. Can you talk about how to start loving yourself again after narcissistic abuse? Thank you, and you have helped so much. Thank you, Lawrence, for telling me. So, generally, a few things here. increasing our self-awareness so that we know what we want. Okay, and that's the only way we can get it. And this is where we start getting into plans, goals, right? And doing something every day says you're worth it. Start loving yourself more. Start attaining goals, getting closer to that. Know exactly what you need, emotional needs, and make sure that you're having these met because you're worth it, right? And most important, most important is that you are number one, Lawrence. You are number one in this world, in this universe. And that means you are most important. And that means that you love yourself first before anybody. Okay? Anyone, even your children. Start being very aware of yourself, your feelings. And knowing what feels bad and stop doing it. Knowing what feels good and keep doing it. Right? And you know, processing feelings and stuff like this so we feel more stable. I might be telling you things you're not quite sure how to do, but I can't get into all of it right here and now. Self-care is really good, and very important is we accept, right? We're trying to be more self-aware, so we accept a part of who we are, and that's our emotions. We accept our emotions and we think about them and feel them and express them and close them and make ourselves feel better. And we challenge negative thoughts, period. And we don't try to keep living with this rumination. Go for walks, achieve goals, talk to get that negativity out. And add positive thoughts, force positive thoughts. Force them. Daily affirmations, right? People say, oh, people will tell themselves or say other people, I'm so stupid or I'm so this. Stop doing that. That's something we can be very mindful and aware of, that we're doing that. Okay? And stop. And we can add positive things. I'm very smart. Okay? Thank you, Lawrence. Good luck. Love yourself first. That's my saying. I mean it. Hello, Christina. Hello, Christina. That's her name. Hello, Christina. Do narcissists repeat stories over and over again, like reliving the glory days? I found my ex was so busy talking about the past that he never bothered to make new memories with me. And do they? I mean, it's common. Totally common. Reliving their glory days, like I said. But these are forms of depression. I'm not happy here. I'm not happy now. And we tend to resort back to times, and they may even become bigger and better and happier than they actually were. Another way to be all about him, right? Does he ask about stories of your past? Does he ask about your past? Without judgment? Yeah, real forms of depression. Not happy here and now, so I will talk about the past. And that can even be bad and sad things in our past, right? Depression. Hi, David. Help me to understand why I can't stop thinking about Narc X. You obsess and you've been traumatized, so we're grieving loss. Okay? We're grieving loss, and it doesn't matter how you feel about this person. It doesn't matter how they treated you. They took up space and time in your life, and it's very stressful for us and difficult, so we might obsess on that. Also, trauma. Trauma means that we don't know what happened, and so we keep running in our brains and our brains and our brains. We also tend to introspect when we have loss, looking at our lives and being kind of difficult and hard on ourselves, and that causes depression, which makes us keep obsessing on the past. Okay? That's your answer. Thank you. And Christina again. Hi, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but last question. As mentioned, I have a narcissistic ex-fiance. Why do narcissists get or want to get married? Marriage consists of deeper commitment and compromise, and he would never do that. So narcissists aren't aware, right? We say it all the time, aren't self-aware. They aren't very aware of what they want and what they need and how they feel about things. They kind of do things that they think they should do. And very, very what we see and what we attain, right? I mean, the narcissists are just doomed for midlife crisis big time, because midlife crisis is we are taught, people that have them were taught in childhood, that what matters the most is what we attain and achieve instead of how we feel and what we want, what we need. And so we are kind of programmed, and this not just narcissists, we're kind of programmed to say, I need a house and I need a college degree maybe, and I need to be successful in a corporation or a company, and I need my own family and get married and have children. And so they will do those things because they value what people think of them, what they look like. And so people do this, so we do this. We're very programmed to do what society does, and society does say to do these things, right? Hope that helps. Thank you, Christina. And Christina again. Last question for this week. I just have so many. Ask them all. Ask them all. My apologies if you have answered this one. It's okay. My ex-fiance was obsessed with judging everything. He would judge cars, clothes, anything or anyone. Here's my favorite example. And you talk about he did not like Audis. He said they're extremely unreliable, engineering, blah, 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 and how it's a terrible financial decision, blah, 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 blah. He's also obsessed with money and status. So just like I was saying in my last question, right? He values what we look like. And so he judges other people based on that, on what they own and what they have and what they look like, how much money they make and what they drive and the job they have, right? And we really don't want to be judging anybody, but we want to get to know people, and we place them in our life on relationships, what they mean to us, that relationship, how important it is, and we want to know who people are, and we want to know what they want and how they feel and things like this. Narcissists aren't interested in that. They aren't interested in that. And so judging other people really shows that they're judging themselves. Okay, everyone out there? And when we don't accept something about somebody, that typically means we have a problem accepting that part of ourself. Okay, think about that for a while. Thank you. And Christina again, just kidding. Victoria from the Bay Area. Hi, Victoria. As a teenager, my father and brother always told me if any guy ever hurt you, I would beat them up. That's not the word, is it? So when I was in trouble, I was too afraid to tell my brother or father I needed help. David, if only they said, if any guy ever hurt you, we would work together as a family to help you. I'm almost positive I would have told them I was in trouble. And, that's not your family. That's not your brother or your father. They don't think like that. They aren't healthy either. That's the healthy response, isn't it? And they live by and maybe started to try to teach you, look like it didn't take, but or your father tried to teach you that all that matters is what you do and not how you feel. So they didn't talk about how you feel. They just wanted to do something about it for you. And this is very codependency, ownership. That when you see this kind of stuff, the boyfriend that wants to kick everyone's butt if they say or look at their girlfriend or anything like this, codependency is dependence. It's an addiction, and many things can be threats to that addiction. You'll take that away from me. Hope that makes sense. Let me know. Let me know, everybody, what you think. Thanks, Victoria. Got to cut off. Oh, I can tell now. Christina from California. I cut it off. Hi, Christina. Different one, I think. That might be it. No, it's the same one. How are narcissists both able to make enough of a connection to multiple women or men to cheat, but can't handle single social situations or interactions? And I wish I knew what you meant more, but I'll try to answer this the best I can now. And look, finding somebody to go, you said to go cheat on, really isn't much of an emotional connection. It's sex, right? And so anybody that agrees to do that, whether they're conscious that they're doing that, they still agree to it and go to sleep with somebody right away before they get to know them and things like this. Whether they get talked into it or whatever. But they're not really finding strong emotional connections with these people. And any kind of problems really seem to surface in relationships the most. And it might even take a while. Okay, so it can't handle simple social situations and interactions. And so I don't know if that means that they can't even go outside and just, anything. Can't talk to someone for a second without a problem, but there's no problems meeting someone for sex. I don't know. You can ask me again. That'd be great. That'd be more specific. You give an example here. I could never go to a restaurant without him causing a scene. Oh, so you're right. So that's right. So he couldn't even go out to a restaurant without causing a scene with the waiters and sis and other guests and all stuff like this. That's another form of depression too. Not getting along with people. And I mean literally, you're going to go on vacation. You're going to go fly somewhere. So, right, you call Uber. Uber comes. You have a problem with the Uber ride, and he lets you out. And you have to get another Uber to get to the airport. You get to the airport, and you have a problem with the ticket lady at the counter. You have a problem with her. She's mad at you and says, and then you get on the plane and have a problem with the stewardess, and you get my point. Depression. Okay? mixed in with a little massive childhood neglect to the point where you don't even know how to communicate very well. You're so socially inept. Thanks, Christina. Let me know what you think. Keep asking me questions. It's okay. And I thank you for them. Jennifer from the United Kingdom asks, are all super empaths survivors of abuse? And I don't, anything I'm going to say no. Just my experience of years of doing this. People that call themselves empaths, people that are empathic, and that's just more hyper empathetic, right? More overly, more inclined to be more empathetic. And I really believe most people, it stems from emotional neglect as children. Yes. And feel free to ask more questions if you want me to elaborate on that. Bronson from Wisconsin. BPD narc ex-girlfriend finally found out my new number, called me 17 times and messaged me saying, what do I do wrong that I couldn't get a happy birthday message? I love people that really make it a point it's their birthday and demand. And after not responding, she says, fine, I won't bother you. Then I get another call, been to court, stabbed, games, pregnancy by this girl, will it never end? Those are legal issues. So, and you're in Wisconsin, you're in America, so that's illegal. Harassment is illegal here, and there's criminal and civil. Get a lawyer if you can. The very least, file police reports. That's not doing anything except just documenting these things, and document them yourself. Very important. Date and time stamp and how it feels. Most important, how it feels, and go file police reports against this stuff every time. Let them stack up. Then you can decide if you want to press charges. Okay? I would get a lawyer. They can really help you with this. The right lawyer will really help you. It could take just a simple letter sometimes. But this person's obviously not in control of their behaviors, very unstable, and very dependent on you to make them feel better. Gross. And I hope you block, and find a way to make this stop. A lawyer can help you do that. I mean, eventually they'll go to jail. It doesn't matter who they are. No one's allowed to harass you. Has a narc ever committed sexual assault and then claim not to remember it because they were drunk? Then bring it up later like it was consensual. Absolutely, that happens. You said, has one ever done that? I bet two. I bet more than one. I've heard it. And because that doesn't that kind of show you? I don't remember. Well, no, you do remember, and you told it yourself in your head that this is okay. Delusional. Believes it. Absolutely, it happens, and I hope that didn't happen to you. Jennifer from the United Kingdom. Hi, Jennifer, again. Could you say again why we like black and gray and white? It's true, but I've added pink now. Just wondered why it's so hard to change it. Well, human beings don't like change, period. Okay? And if you're traumatized brain, it really hates change. It's going to freak out. And you went from black, gray to white to pink. Whoa! But it's good for you. It'll help you, make you feel better in the end. Why do people, victims like this? Because it's usually not just one experience we've had like this. It's usually a lifetime. And we're not allowed to express ourselves. And we be safe. And could be a little depression mixed in there, typically. Right? We don't feel like having a bunch of color and celebrating life. Just kind of get by and isolate. Thanks, Jennifer. Hope that answered your question. And that's it, guys. That's all the questions. Thank you all very, very much. Please try to support me, please. I really would help it, appreciate it for your help. And, you know, if you think anything has helped you doing this, there's a lot of other people that need help. Really, right? A lot. And then you could do a small part, pushing a couple buttons and get that help out there to people who need it. This could be just something that points people in the right direction, okay? Thank you, guys. Please keep asking questions. Love yourself first. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.